Floyd Mayweather kind of left the door open for a potential match with Jake Paul. Now, why do I say that? Well, it was kind of brought to him at the post conference, and they asked him directly, actually. They said, what do you think about fighting Jake Paul? Jake Paul, first of all, Jake Paul had a camera on him the entire night. I get why, but like it kind of got annoying. Like I don't want to see him with Jake Paul every 2 seconds for his reaction. They did that for another fight as well. I forget what fight it was for. But they constantly had his reaction. When they were talking about when Floyd was asked, hey, are you open to fight Jake Paul? Jake Paul really didn't have any reaction. He was on his phone, probably, I don't know, Snapchatting, or I have no idea what he was doing. But Floyd just prefaced it and said, you know what? I'm in my 40s. I'm past my prime. Basically anything can happen, but I'm good right now. Floyd Mayweather is fighting on Showtime. So I don't know the contractual obligations that he has. Most likely it's probably just a one-off deal, something to Showtime was used as a medium to deliver the product, right? What other options did he really have? Well, he had Triller. I don't think he wanted to use Triller. They're not Floyd Mayweather's kind of production company. But what's interesting is Jake Paul recently signed an agreement with Showtime. And it wasn't just for one fight. I believe it was for 4 fights. Now that we know that, we have this relationship, we have this connection between these two fighters even more now. We first had between his brother and Floyd Mayweather. That was the first storyline that you can create. But now you have them both on the same network, right? You still have you have them under the same team, essentially, if you want to think of it like that. They're not, I guess they're both independent contractors, but they're under the same umbrella. Now, does that mean that they're going to fight each other in the future? Not necessarily. But does that mean that there's no opportunity for it? I don't think so. I think they can actually have a fight. Now, when does that happen? Well, Jake Paul has to go into his matchup with Tyron Woodley in July. No, sorry. It's in August, I believe. And I think in order for you to fight Floyd Mayweather, you're going to have to beat Tyron. Now, Tyron is a different story. Tyron, the matchup between him and Jake can go either way, but I believe Tyron's going to come out the winner. Now, you might ask, you might say like, oh, I just said that they will fight each other eventually. Well, yes. The reason why I say that is Jake Paul might go into that match with Woodley and lose. But that doesn't mean that Jake Paul is completely done with boxing. Yes, he might be done with fighting actual like legitimate athletes. Not to say Floyd is not a legitimate athlete. I mean, somebody that is closer to his prime. Woodley is past his prime, but Woodley is a much bigger threat when it comes to boxing in today's world compared to Floyd Mayweather when we're talking about Jake Paul. Why do I say that? Well, Woodley is much larger, right? He's a big power puncher. He's coming from an MMA background. He's much younger. All that kind of stuff. I think Jake Paul is most likely going to lose to Woodley. I don't see him doing a rematch just because the outcome I think is going to happen. I'm going to go over in a different video on this channel. So if you want to subscribe, and then he'll probably go and maybe face another YouTuber, right? One that's out there that wants that matchup is KSI. Now, if you have that matchup and Jake Paul wins that, now you have this momentum again. Now he can go and face another MMA guy, maybe like a Dylan Dennis, and then from there beat Dylan Dennis and then face Floyd Mayweather again. What does that put the timeline? Maybe early 2023 or late 2022. Now those timelines could be completely switched around. Floyd might be completely done with the sport, but knowing him, I don't think he's going to stop training in the next 1 to 2 years. I think there's an opportunity later on in Jake's journey for them to meet. Not necessarily now, but maybe in a year or two. I'm probably going to watch it. All these guys will probably watch it. You'll probably watch it. And I have a feeling it might go a lot differently than what this Logan Paul and Mayweather went.